Welcome to 15 with Christine. Matt Mazzei is our special guest today. So let's get started. On 15 with Christine, we talk about all things business growth. But before we dive in, I want to let you know where you can find the broadcast. I'll come to you live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and you won't miss an episode. My goal with 15 with Christine is to introduce you to people who can help you grow your business, help you grow your career. And I'm excited today to welcome Matt Mazzei, who holds the Brock Family Chair in Entrepreneurship at Samford University. Because one of the things that Matt does is help current college entrepreneurs really develop their skills and develop their business while they're still at Samford University. So Matt, welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Glad to be here today.
Matt, it was such a pleasure last year to work with you through the Entrepreneurs Organization Global Student Entrepreneur Competition that you hosted at Samford University. And I got to see a glimpse of how you are helping your student entrepreneurs develop. But I'd like to ask you to take a step back and just tell us, how did you get to this point in your career where you're helping develop future entrepreneurs and really the future of the backbone of the economy here in Alabama?
Yeah, thank you. So my background actually is in financial services. So I've worked for a number of years coming out of college. I had a finance degree coming out of the University of Florida. Was fortunate to work with several different companies during my corporate time, both in growth stages. So I got to see some interesting things on the operations side, really focused on process innovation, product innovation. And then I actually moved over and worked with another firm that was actually a startup firm within a larger parent company. And so during that time, I had gone and gotten a couple advanced degrees, I got an MBA and a master's in MIS. And it was really informative at that time that I started really thinking about a career in higher ed. And so after conversations with some of my faculty mentors, I eventually made the switch and transitioned over to higher ed. I went to Auburn. And it was really providential. The program, literally a week before I applied, had changed their focus to look at organizational studies, strategy, and change, which was really the niche that I was super focused on. I had done some work. I knew I wanted to be on the strategy side. And Auburn was a great fit for me. Great faculty there and just a great group of folks to be around. It was while I was at Auburn that several folks had kind of been in my ear as you're looking at where you're going to kind of spend your research time. And folks had talked about the potential of entrepreneurship. And I kind of looked back and reflected on my corporate career and thought, that's not really the path or what my experience has been. But then when I found some articles that talked about firm level entrepreneurship and really kind of this concept of corporate entrepreneurship that looks at both innovation and venturing. And I reflected back on my career and said, that's exactly what I did. That's all I did for all those years. And so that really kind of changed the path for me of looking at organizations from the strategic side, but also really with this entrepreneurial mindset. And so as I got into higher ed, I've been teaching both strategy classes as well as firm level entrepreneurship classes. And it was through that role that our current dean, Chad Carson, asked me to take a look at our entrepreneurship programs and step into a little bit of a larger role there. To have impact with those students. And so I really bring with with my experience, I bring a focus on being entrepreneurial minded in any situation. So while we absolutely support student entrepreneurs, we also are encouraging students that they can go work for other employers and be entrepreneurial. And so that's a little bit how I've gotten to this particular path. And so I have fun in the classroom talking about firms and organizations and how they can be entrepreneurial. And then I have a lot of enjoyment working with our actual student led incubator, in which we have student entrepreneurs who are creating their own business and doing startups. So,
Matt, you used a term that I'd like to ask you to go deeper on, or maybe even provide us some examples, and that's venturing.
Yeah.
What does that mean, I guess, coming from your academic standpoint?
Sure. Yeah. So venturing, we look at, when we talk about corporate venturing, we talk about the concepts of starting new businesses from existing organizations.
Yes.
And so primarily we look at corporate entrepreneurship as the potential to have innovation, any type of internal innovation that can be impactful and have organizational consequence. But some of those may not always be starting new businesses. But on the new venture side, right, that would be investing in businesses, so corporate venture capital, or actually starting up businesses. And that was a little bit of my experience, that there was a startup unit, a new business unit that was created. And so I had a lot of enjoyment and great experience in growing a business that had the financial backing of a larger entity. And so it's something that students don't often think about. So we bring that to our undergrad students and share all the benefits of that as well.
That's fascinating. So tell me, how does that apply to your startup that you support right there at Samford? I know you had the opportunity to show me, where you have offices, where Samford provides resources for students that have started businesses. Tell us what that startup is like, and about some of your students.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So we have a program we call Samford Startup. It's a student-led incubator. And so I'm the faculty mentor for that particular group. It's a competitive group. So we have application process that students from all across our campus, not just our business students, but students from all across campus, if they've got entrepreneurial ideas, or some of them already have businesses started, they apply to get into this program. What the program entails typically is office space, including, desks, but also access to meeting spaces, conference rooms around campus. We also bring in guest speakers, so typically 1 or 2 a month that we're connecting those folks with, and then some direct faculty mentoring. And so we'll meet with those students and help them work through their business models and deal with entrepreneurial challenges that they may have. We've actually got two different types of memberships for our students. We've got resident members who not only have access to the office space and a little bit of funding that the university provides. We also have what we call affiliate members. We wanted to expand that program. We were getting so many applicants. And so our affiliate programs, they have access to our meeting spaces and our meetings, but they don't get funding or office space. So typically we're kind of grooming those students to build their business out a little bit further, get a little bit further along the line, and move into the resident program.
So you have 2 levels of support, really based on an application process, specifically for your students, but of course, not only those in business, but those across all of the majors at Samford.
Yeah, we do. Currently, we have business students, of course, but we also have students from our journalism and mass communications group. We have a fine arts student. So we're excited that we've got folks all over Samford's campus who have these entrepreneurial interests, and we're really just providing an immersive opportunity for them. Samford's really known for student engagement. And so this is a great program where we really can get some, fairly close faculty to student relationships built. We can introduce them to folks throughout the community in the Birmingham entrepreneurial ecosystem, like folks from the EO chapter here locally. And so it's really a rewarding opportunity to see these students grow in these entrepreneurial pursuits over the course of their time on campus.
Well, Matt, we are so excited that you are hosting the Birmingham GSEA competition again this year. But can I ask you to share, how did the competition help you in developing your students? And of course, your winner, Kylie, who founded Revenge the Label, went forward to the top 10 in the GSEA competition. How did you see your students develop? And do you have any feedback on what you saw with Kylie personally as she went through the process with Entrepreneurs Organization?
Yeah, it was such a great experience for us. We really appreciate the partnership with the Birmingham EO chapter. Love getting those folks on campus.
Yes.
For our students, it did a couple things. Number one, it gave us, right, we had a competition, we had a date. And so we were really able to have some accountability of them getting some things done and conducting research to really refine their business model. So it really gave us a target to prepare for, and it really encouraged and motivated that group of students to put their best foot forward. I think the biggest thing for me in that process, and even specifically with Kylie, was watching the confidence grow.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, seeing that, she was having success in this business, and she really wasn't sure what the future of it held, if this was a side hustle for her, or if this was something that actually held potential for her as a potential after graduation. And to watch her get comfortable in the research, comfortable with her data, what her customers were telling her, recognizing that she had a very viable business model. Yes. And then seeing her confidence grow in that she really got to see that this is something that, even though I'm a young professional, that I'm ready to take this step. And, I certainly give a lot of credit to EO and the framework that you all had through these competitions that allowed her to connect with so many people who gave her such great encouragement through that process that really did transform her confidence level. And for me, that's impacted me because it's helped me approach things a little bit differently in my second year in the program. Yes. Of course, I want to help them with their business model, and I want to help them in analyzing their market and putting together a good product or service. But I saw how important the encouragement side of that and creating opportunities in which these students can really thrive. And so we're excited to once again be involved with EO this year. And I know my students are looking forward to that opportunity once again.
Yes. And, for those that are listening, Entrepreneurs Organization provides a specific matrix for the students to prepare for the competition. And Matt, would you say, was that a pretty rigorous process for them to go through?
Oh, it really was. It was great. It was well communicated exactly what the judges are going to be looking for. What's a little unique about the EO program is that they really want to hear the entrepreneur's story. They really care about the student entrepreneur. And I thought that was really neat. It gave them a sense of comfort that they get to tell their story as part of it. And the judges were really interested in that entrepreneurial journey. So that was a really neat component of this particular program and something that we value very much at Samford.
Well, as the MC for last year's competition and getting to see your 4 competitors, and we had one from UAB, it was so rewarding to listen to these young student entrepreneurs present so eloquently the business case for how they were growing their businesses. And for those that are listening, just so you know, in addition to a framework for the competition, the local EO chapter provides a support from successful entrepreneurs right here in Birmingham. And if you're interested in learning more about the competition, it's scrolling right here at the bottom. You're welcome to reach out to me, Christine Sizemore. And if you'd like to learn more about Matt's program at Samford, it's the Samford Startup Program. You can pop that into Google. You can go to the URL right here on the screen. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time today. For those of you listening, if you know a college student entrepreneur, Definitely let them know about the EOGSEA competition that'll be coming up in February of 2023. And I'll be back again in 2 weeks with another episode of 15 with Christine. Until then.